Well, good evening, and thank you for tuning in to another week with Fathers Who Care. The day is still moving, and we're moving with it. And we're thankful to be back on the show again this week with another guest that we're going to talk to very shortly. But we want to also thank our friends at CAN TV for always making it possible for us to do our shows, to bring variant different individuals more information, a place where young folks can come and be empowered. But then we just thank CAN TV for just allowing this platform to be available for those of us and other folks who are trying to get their messages out. So thank you again, Amari. Thank you, David. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you, all that I made. Terrence, if I miss your name, thank you. Thank you, Hanisha. Thank you, Vernisha. Thank you, Miss Chester, Miss Jones. And thank all of the folks that I may miss your names. Charge it to my head and not my heart. But anyway, this week we want to talk specifically about how we as community stakeholders can continue to empower our young people in the areas of job force readiness skills, workforce development skills, readiness skills, community empowerment, civic engagement, all of those things that we continuously bring to you each week. So I'm going to just woosah for a second and just get into this spirit here in this show. Our guest this evening, of course, I'm going to introduce to some and present to others, is my brother, Doug. And we're going to talk more with Doug in a minute. It's Douglas Nessingham.
That's right.
So we're going to talk with Doug in a minute, and Doug is going to talk to us about what he's doing over at St. Leonard. He's the Director of Education and Workforce Solutions. And tonight we're just bridging our information together on some of the job readiness opportunities, workforce development opportunities, and how we can just bring a different array of services to young people so that at least we can say we told them. Yeah. And they can say there's nothing out here. I personally believe right now, Doug, that there's so much going on that it would be a travesty to say that resources and opportunities are not available now.
It's true.
I think folks have just gotten somewhat complacent in their ways, some of them, not all of them. But I just wanted to let you know that even for those who may have gone through some changes and need a second chance or need some additional support, I'm letting you know that St. Leonard's House is available to provide additional intervention and support to you, your loved ones, if you give them a call.
That's right.
So at the conclusion, at least by the conclusion of this telecast, we're going to get a phone number from Doug. And Doug is going to allow you all to understand some of the programs that's going on at St. Leonard House. And I believe in my heart of hearts that most of the things that's going on over there are free of charge.
That's correct.
For qualifying participants, correct?
Yeah, all you need to qualify is having justice involvement.
Okay.
Even if you
did you hear what he said? Justice involvement,
yeah.
Meaning you must have gone through the justice system or had some type of contact. Is that fair?
That's correct.
And you'll explain that a little bit more in a minute, right?
Yep, sure.
Now you guys are still located at 2120 West Warren Boulevard, right off the corner.
That's right. So we also have the two houses are residences, the 2110 building and 2100 building. Those are residences for people who've come out of the Illinois Department of Corrections and Cook County.
Okay, so you all are providing additional support to folks who are coming out of the Illinois Department of Corrections, mm-hmm. and those who may have had a run-in.
Yep.
Returning citizens.
Yes. Sir.
Correct?
Yep.
So anyway, let's do this. Let's get this show started. Thank you all for tuning in. Thank you, cuz, over there in Arizona for watching this show. We're going to talk specifically with Doug about workforce development, job readiness skills, and how we can continue to empower our young people. As I alluded to before, Doug is the Director of Education and Workforce Solutions for St. Leonard House on the west side of Chicago. And Doug, I want to start off by letting you know that we appreciate you being here. Thank you so much for all the work that you're doing over there at St. Leonard's House. Also, we want you all to know today that this show is specifically dedicated to empowering young folks or empowering folks who may be a little senior in age who just need additional support. So it's our privilege to have Doug with us tonight. Doug, my first question to you would be rather simple. Rather simple, Doug. Who is Doug? And what is Doug? Doug, you're a father.
That's right.
You're a husband. But tell me, what moves Doug? What motivates Doug? Doug, what is your purpose for existing?
So I'm also a man of faith.
Man of faith.
That's true.
Purpose.
And purpose, sure. So what kind of drives me as far as my professional life and does spill over into my personal life too,
Right.
is that we've seen so much destruction on the streets, in the urban environment especially, and I think that there's a real opportunity right now, especially with what we've been through in the last couple of years to the pandemic. There's a tremendous amount of opportunity going on here in the city of Chicago through a lot of the skilled construction trades. There's a tremendous opportunity for youth to get involved in those, as well as other professional and technological type of jobs as well.
Okay. Well, Doug, we know that you're currently the Director of Education and Workforce Solutions. What does that mean? I mean, we know that you're the director, so that means that you probably over a department.
Yeah.
But be more specific about what that department does.
So, in essence, we are the programming arm of St. Leonard's Ministry, and we're at the Michael Barlow Center. And a lot of people think that Michael Barlow was some big donor or something, but Michael Barlow was actually a participant in the programs at St. Leonard's Ministry, and he was a resident at St. Leonard's House, and he overcame some tremendous odds. He's no longer with us. He's with God now, but he's still we still use
his spirit is alive and well.
That's right. That's right.
But so St. Leonard's Ministry is a ministry. Let's try that one more time. Is a ministry devoted to doing what?
We're dedicated to working with returning citizens and people who've been impacted by the carceral system or the justice system. So even if you've only had a misdemeanor or just been arrested, even if the charges were dismissed, you're still eligible to utilize our services.
So what I really like, and I'm familiar with St. Leonard's House Ministry, and I think it's really important that there are programs and facilities, ministries, if you will, that are continuously opening up their doors to provide folks who may have had a brush with the justice system, who may have gone through some changes, who are re-entering the community and trying to get their lives together. I'm so thankful to know that you all are providing the resources. So tell us, what are some of the services that you all provide at St. Leonard's Ministry?
Well, we have several core programs, and then we have some additional programming. So our core programs would be our financial literacy, our computer literacy, and our Road to Success. The Road to Success is what our basically our job readiness program. It's a 2-week program where we work with you to get your resume together. We work on your interviewing skills, and we also provide job leads and additional information about some of our other programming. So those are our 3 core programs. Beyond that, we have our Culinary Arts program. It's a 10-week program where we teach them how knife skills, basic cooking, baking, and the skills that they would need to maintain a job in the hospitality industry, or even just learn to cook for their friends or start their own catering. We've had people start their own food trucks from there. So that's also a big one. And with the 10-week program, there's a $900 stipend that we pay the participants. So we get a little money in your pocket.
So at the conclusion of 10 weeks, the participants will receive a stipend in the amount of $900.
Well, they receive it throughout.
Oh, okay. So they're getting it as they go through the 10 weeks.
That's
so
right.
you'll break that 910.
Yeah.
So that's probably like $90 a week.
Something like that.
Okay. Yeah. So that's another opportunity.
Yep.
As you're learning some valuable skills in this training, you also will receive a stipend to kind of push you over a little bit, help you out a little bit. So it sounds like there are opportunities for folks that even if you're in the program developing certain skills, you also get a stipend and put something in your pocket.
That's right.
So you can take take a little stress off yourself and get out there and buy some things you may want to buy.
Yeah.
But anyway, let's come on back and talk to you, Doug. So Doug, over at St. Leonard's Ministry, your programs over there are dedicated to folks who are reentering, folks who may have gone through some changes, right? Mm-hmm. So tell us, what is the intent or the thought behind the Education and Workforce Solutions Department?
Well, what we are trying to do is to get people involved and engaged in these services. A lot of times in the past, there's been instances where these people have been marginalized to a high degree, and it causes them to feel like they have to go it alone. We're there to help them. We've got supportive services. We will provide gas cards. We will provide bus cards. And we will provide all the stuff you need for work. If you're in the construction program, we give you steel-toed boots and hard hat and tools. If you're in the culinary arts program, we're going to give you no-slip shoes, a jacket, a hat, and all the things that you need.
So am I hearing you correctly? You're saying that in this education and training department, you try to do whatever you can to make it easier for folks to get acclimated to whatever the career or training program that they're pursuing.
Yeah.
And you talked about culinary, you talked about construction, you talked about computer and financial literacy, you talked about the possibility of assisting folks in job placement and retention. You talked about also developing their conflict resolution, decision-making skills. Is that fair?
Absolutely.
Is there an age on this group?
Well, generally we work with people 21 and up.
Okay.
That's not to say that we would turn anyone away, but that's kind of been our success in the past. We'd also feel like, especially with the older, and we get back kind of to the fatherhood thing, and trying to reunite fathers with their kids. A lot of times that's something that gets lost in when you get involved in the carceral system. The kids.
It's intentional.
Yeah,
it's unfortunate. Hard. It's unfortunate, but those things. That's the reality of that. But the fact of what we're talking about today is we're talking about developing not only young people in your program between the ages of 21 to what now you say?
And we deal
and
up, yeah.
So there's any from 21 up.
Yeah.
And we're also providing an intern and youth leadership program entitled Too Good for Violence, and our mission is to try to provide additional intervention and support to kind of wean some of our young people from street engagement and bring them into a controlled environment. Yeah. And this program it's suited for young people, high at-risk young people from the ages of 21 we basically from 16 to 24, forgive me.
Yeah.
But we also have another program, our Youth Leadership Council, where we bring in young people from the ages of 13 to 15, so that they have a support group, an environment where they can come and kind of get nurtured and supported and educated and encouraged to stay involved, so that they can run into some of those programs when they get 16.
Yeah.
So we're trying to catch them young and try to get their minds molded, get them acclimated to understanding the values of literacy, education, and all those good things, but also keep them in an environment where they can have some fun, they can learn some job readiness skills, decision-making techniques, conflict resolution, and mediation, all that good stuff that they need in order to deal with some of the issues and concerns that they're dealing with on the west side of Chicago. I do believe that there's a lot of things going on. But I want to ask you, Doug, in your opinion, what do you think young people are craving? What do they need in order to be successful?
Well, the number one thing is they need a strong work ethic, and they need, and like you were talking about before, the conflict resolution, the job retention skills. A lot of times we see people get jobs and then only to lose them shortly after, because they, like you said, they have a conflict with a supervisor or a coworker. They let those negative thoughts get into their head, and they let the other people around them, their peers, a lot of times, that will get in them and say, "Hey, man, don't you want to get high instead of go to work today, or or hang out or do something?" So those are all those negative influences that we really try and eliminate from their thought process.
What Doug, what we're trying to do also at Fathers Who Care is to continue to network with organizations like St. Leonard's, which we always have, ministries. The premise or the mission behind what we're trying to do is to keep those opportunities available. Young people need that. Opportunities. So it's a good thing that we have different mission statements or goals for what we're trying to accomplish in our agency, because we can always complement what others are doing.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not in competition with each other. What we're in collaboration with each other. Exactly. It's a difference. The collaboration is it's a lot of things that you're doing that we can refer young people over to your agency, and likewise, and that's what I like about it. I think it's a good thing that we continue to work together to focus on work etiquette and responsibilities, because some young folk, some of them don't get it, and they just they deserve a second chance, but they also need to be in a controlled environment where we're teaching those skills and they have a coach, and the coach can continue to support them and guide them and motivate them, and they can have someone that they can call and stay in contact with, because everybody needs somebody. And all of us working together can really bring about social change in our community, which is the most important thing, because young people right now, if we're in Chicago and we know that sometimes folks call us Chirac.
Right.
Because and they mean it because they think it's a war zone.
Yeah.
But I know some areas in the community are peaceful and quiet, but then there's some, particularly in Inglewood, West Garfield Park, and other places, that's they're going through some changes.
Yeah.
So what we're trying to do is, we can't change everything overnight, but what we really believe that if we just bring the resources to the young folks, have a heart for the young people, love on these young people, support these young people. Yeah, everybody that made this mistake, so forgive folks for the mistake they made. Don't keep pushing them. Don't keep using a mistake that they made as a reason to keep them down.
Yeah.
And so we do know that they're already battling various different social issues that they already have, whatever they may be. So our job is to try to empower them the best that we can. So I'm going to open up right now and say to you, Doug, in your mindset, or in your state of mind, what do you think our young people are facing that right now that's negatively impacting their future, their quality of life? What do you think they're facing?
Well, there's a lack of resources in a lot of instances. I think the resources sometimes are directed in the wrong ways. I think we tend to direct a lot of the resources towards the kids who are already going to be successful in a lot of times, and we don't devote enough to the ones that are slipping off, or who are in a situation, a single parent situation, or they're in a situation where they're struggling in school. They don't have the support to be successful. So that's one of the big things that I see. The lack of fathers have been alienated. We know that a very high percentage, especially on the west side and the south sides, have had men disproportionately impacted by the justice system, and had their livelihoods taken away from them. They've lost the opportunities for a lot of the jobs. And that's impacted negatively, I think, on our youth.
Okay, so I can feel some of the passion in you. So I want to ask this question: why are you so passionate in empowering our future leaders? I mean, so many folks, they do a job for a job, and some of us work a job because we are passionate about empowering other folks. We really feel good about making sure that we provide resources and support to those who are less fortunate. Yes. But tell me, why are you so passionate in the work that you're doing?
Well, I got started in, I started out in this a while ago.
A while ago.
A while ago, we'll leave it at that.
I got you. A while ago.
But
I understand.
yeah, but
Me too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
a while ago.
You know, and I get joy from people who come up to me who remember me. They say, "Hey, you know, you got me my first job, man." And now, you know, and maybe 10 years later, maybe they're still at that job, or maybe they've used the resources and the networking and things like that they've gotten from that job to become doing other things.
Yeah.
But they remember that first job.
It do feel good.
Yeah, they remember that first
I know
one.
exactly what you're saying. Thank you, Charlene, for tuning in. Thank you, Leroy, for tuning in. I agree with you because I've kind of been in this field for a long time.
Yeah.
Empowering young people. You know, particularly I used to focus on both male and female, still do, but always had a concentrated effort on empowering young men in our Boys to Men program. So I see a lot of these young folks now who are now doing the work that I was doing, prevention specialists and coordinators, when I was back in the day.
Yeah.
So it does my heart glad to see that we were able as a group to touch and impact the lives of so many young folks. And then it also feels good when they come back, and they still do come back. Mm-hmm. And some of them now are lawyers, some of them now are in the medical field, some of them are doing quite well.
Yeah.
But they came through a prevention program. They came through the services that we was providing on the west side of Chicago, through groups that we were working with, Family Focus, Healthy Families, all them folks like that. But then let's get back to what you're doing. So we were talking specifically about some of the activities, and I want to go back if I can.
Sure.
Some of the events, activities, and resources that you guys are providing at St. Leonard's Ministry are what?
Yeah, so a lot of what we do is trying to connect our participants and students with the resources that they need to be successful and the community and beyond in the bigger picture and the bigger scope of Chicagoland, and it helps because we have people like yourself who've been helping us, and we reach out. We work a lot with the Salvation Army and a lot of the other programs in the city, the Gateway. So we've got we're trying to expand our tentacles. So I've only been with St. Leonard's now for about 6 months, so I'm still learning some things about the justice system and that space. My background was pure workforce development in the way of working with the Chicago Cook Workforce Partnership and the local American Job Centers, both on the west and south side. So I'm still learning a lot about what's going on with the carceral system. And so what kind of has driven me throughout this process, this learning process, is the fact that St. Leonard's has a really holistic approach. So we're gonna support you in every facet. If you need to go back and get your high school diploma, we have a high school completion program, an adult alternative high school where they can complete their high school within 12 weeks.
Okay.
So that's just the first of the first step for a lot of them in the process, and actually getting them to feel like they've completed something.
Okay, so Doug, give us a phone number if folks are interested in some of the programs that you all are providing with St. Leonard's Ministry. What number can they contact?
They can call 312-894-7975.
One more time.
312-894-7975.
Well, we're here this evening. You're tuning in to Fathers Who Care. And of course, this evening we talked about how to empower our young people through workforce development and strengthening their job readiness skills. It's been fun talking with Doug, who's the Director of Education and Workforce Solutions, about some of the programs that we can collaborate on to continue to engage and train young people. Developing skill recognition, identification, job application process, resume writing, also interview and preparation, conflict resolution, workplace etiquette, computer and financial literacy, individual coaching, job placement, and retention. So there's so many things that we're doing at the at St. Leonard's Ministry and over at Fathers Who Care, where we want to empower young folks. So we are providing programs at Fathers Who Care from 14 to 20. Forgive me, from 13 up to 24. Forgive me, I'm looking at it. And thank you for helping me there. So one portion of that is a youth leadership group, and 16 to 24 is an internship program. But listen, the time on the wall is saying that we got to go, so we would thank you all so very much for tuning in. Our number is 773-287-5821, 773-287-5821, or log on to fatherswhocare.org for additional information. And God bless you. God keep you. See you later. God bless you. Keep the faith, and good night. Thank you.